it has been quite a lot of years that you are in the field. What is the change that you have seen in terms of acceptance for Carnatic music and Indian performing arts as a whole?
Okay, now I'm mm, I'm able to see a very wide acceptance with the emergence of online platforms actually,
Okay.
because people they are more accessible to all these things, and in case of Carnatic music also, people are more receptive now, because it's now I feel like it's now okay, they are clearly understanding everything, because they have many sources to do a research regarding the Carnatic music and all. And if I am telling you like, okay, there is a song like this, what you do, you take your mobile phone and type the song, Google it, and you will hear the song. So there are many opportunities like that for people to do the research and to judge what is good for them, what is not suiting for them. So I think the level of receptance is quite high, but the degree of receptance is not that high, because it will take
The wide
time.
span is
Exactly.
not being expressed like you have
Exactly.
for Western music or pop music or say
Exactly.
even rap music.
Yeah, even for Western rap or pop music also, the same thing applies, because people have different taste, different mode of enjoyment actually. So if you give a pop music to, if you make a Carnatic musician hear a pop music, the acceptance, the chance of accepting that mode of music is less actually. It's less. I didn't say he won't accept, but it's less.
So Bhagyalakshmi, see, we have people who enjoy Carnatic music.
Exactly.
We have people who enjoy pop music. But when we put them on a trust and look at the percentage, people enjoying Carnatic music is very less compared to pop music, Western, hip hop, whatever it may be. Why is that, according to you?
Maybe because of the way they are introduced to Carnatic music, as I told earlier. Uh, Maybe their childhood, or whenever they hear the Carnatic music for the first time, somebody near them might have told, like that. Because Carnatic music.
Do you think is it because they don't understand what you are chanting in Carnatic music in terms of the language? Because when you take up pop music, you have pop music in all the local languages. You have in the national language. You have pop music in your base. Even if you consider some Korean artists, okay, they are becoming popular by adding on English statements in their Korean language music. Has anyone in the Carnatic music era tried to address this problem? Because see, objective of an art form is to reach on to the larger audience, right? So that it can portray or explain what it is trying to exhibit.
Exactly.
So was that a part of your journey anyway?
The very first thing that I have to mention is like Carnatic music doesn't have any language restrictions.
Okay.
There is no restrictions like it should be in Sanskrit, it should be in Tamil. There is no language restrictions.
Okay.
The thing is the how you arrange the music, or the way you deliver the music, the style of music, that is actually Carnatic music.
Okay.
So you have English javalis in Carnatic music. You have English note in Carnatic music. So there is no language restriction actually. The only thing is that the way the people are introduced to Carnatic music may be like the very first their introduction to Carnatic music may be some songs which they couldn't digest. See, everything has a particular stages, right? Even if I am making you to if I am making you hear Carnatic music for the first time, and if I am making you to hear a very heavy group of Manodharma swaras, you will feel like, oh my God, like that.
Yes.
And if you are making me, if I'm hearing the pop music for the first time, and if you are making me hear a very heavy pop music with the heavy jazz
Complex
and heavy
notes,
drums, yeah,
yes.
complex notes, I will be like, oh my God. like that.
True.
So how you are introduced to Carnatic music, or like it's not Carnatic music, any type of art form, it's really very important. That's the very first thing I have to say. And if I have to talk about the acceptance or development of Carnatic music, there is no such word called development. It's actually we who have to develop to understand all these things.
We
Music,
in the sense the artists who perform Carnatic
the
music.
artist, and also the common audience.
Okay.
It's actually our inner self which has to develop to understand everything around us. So music is always there. Carnatic music is there here and everywhere around us. So it is us who should be passionate, or we should be really patient in learning or in knowing something which we don't know. So that is a very basic thing, like I feel from the audience side. The patience is the very first thing. So regarding the development of Carnatic music, I think people are more people are enjoying more now, because now the what I have observed is like all the young musicians, they are taking a huge role in doing their own, in taking the traditional compositions and doing it in, interpreting it in their own way, which make the composition more beautiful and which like communicate to the, like it communicates more to the people.
Larger audience.
Exactly.
Okay. So that is happening.
Exactly. Yeah. Lot of YouTube channels like Madrasana, and they are doing a lot actually.
Okay. That is great to know. You, during our conversation, you mentioned that the majority of performances that you exhibit are through festivals and are in temples. How do you consider or accept that statement? Carnatic music, we consider it as a treasure of the nation, right? Why is it limited to temples and only to a specific period of festivals? But when we compare it to any other musical forms which are not classical Indian forms, why are they limited to such boundaries?
Okay. So in our old times, it's not like old times, around every temple there will be a group of artists.
Okay.
Actually, because their livelihood is dependent on the music they play inside the temple, and also they teach the children around the temple. So the thing which I have to say you now is like teaching an art form doesn't mean like teaching some music or something. It means teaching a culture actually.
A lifestyle.
Exactly.
Way of
Developing a
life,
culture
yes,
and
yes.
developing a way of lifestyle, which includes very basic thing like greeting a people, means greeting an artist or greeting a very common man, or what you say, to develop a level of affection towards everything in nature. Like it's a package. It's not only learning a music or learning some swaras or learning some mudras. So this is a very basic thing I have to mention now. And if you observe the people around the temple, you will come to know that this is the only way of earning for them, and they respect their art form more. And when it comes to a festival, you have to show this in a larger scale. Actually, a festival or a performance in a festival is something from which you should learn a lot of things.
Okay.
Okay, so the very first thing is like interacting with people. And the second thing is like the exhibition of your art form. You are in front of a group of people. So you should do your performance in front of some people, no? People should gather, no?
Yes.
So something like this must happen.
You're
no?
talking about the older days, right?
Now also.
Okay. Okay.
Now also, if people should gather at somewhere, you should give some promotions, or there should be something happening in and around the area which you perform.
Okay.
So the people should gather.
Okay.
So that's what, because you are performing in festivals and everything. And apart from festivals and all, if you or otherwise you should have a brand name in the field. And if you
Yeah,
are,
that is where
yeah.
I was actually
Yeah.
landing onto in
Exactly.
terms of my question.
Exactly.
The art forms that that were created or discovered long after the Indian classical performance arts like Carnatic music, they actually do not require a brand today. Even as a small brand, you can actually reach on to a huge mass of public. But why does the question directly lands on why are we limiting Carnatic music to the festivals or the temple forms?
Actually, Carnatic music now is not, it doesn't have some limitations because
Okay.
people are performing on a large scale, and the traditional form of Carnatic music like Unjavritti, in which many singers will be going like a procession with their instruments. They will be singing in front of, like they will be singing walking along the streets and all. They are bringing back everything in a new way. So I don't feel like what you said earlier, the people
It
like,
is limiting into the boundaries.
yeah,
That
yeah,
is what
it's not like that. It's actually coming out.
it is actually coming out.
It has came out a lot actually.
One of the example is you are traveling tomorrow to an international stage
Yeah,
to perform.
exactly. And I don't think like all the, actually even pop music, Carnatic music, any type of music, the aim is one actually. The aim is entertainment. There are many people who can't enjoy pop, and
Very true.
yeah, very true. So there are people who can't enjoy Carnatic music. The level of enjoyment or what you perceive inside yourself is really very different. What you enjoy, maybe I couldn't enjoy, and like vice versa also. So in today, when you observe around yourself, Carnatic music is not limited to temples or anything. It's there. It's there in
Still the
temples.
larger mass is out there,
Yeah,
but
because
it
it
has
is
started
the
coming
core
out.
of, it is the core actually. It is from where
It
everything
actually
is developed.
started.
Every art form has been developed around.
Temples.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. It is the culture, Indian culture actually.
It
So
is actually, see, we have done our research quite well, and we have seen renowned historians speak. All of the art forms or Indian classical art forms did not originate from temple because of the religious constraint.
maybe.
It happened because of the spiritual constraint actually, because when you form a temple, you have a place to bring everyone together. Okay, and if you perform something there, and it was a place of teaching, it was a place of gathering, it was a place of getting connected to others in a small area. So it was easier to start classical art forms from temple rather than what people believe today, that it is constrained to a specific religious belief. So do you agree with that? What are your thoughts about it?
Actually, it's a very personal question actually. So, in my personal opinion, I do believe in all the spiritual practices and also in all the religious activities and everything. I never restrict anybody, or I never like. I never induce my thoughts on anybody. According to me, any art form you love is spiritual. So, what is spiritual? What do you mean by spirituality? It's nothing connected with religion. That is the very first thing. What have happened over the years is like, you the people must have some space for doing some activities. So it was there in temple, maybe in church, or maybe in mosque, or maybe anything. And even I think it's the ajnanam which actually, what you say,
You will have to define the word Ajnana.
the word ajnana means the situation where you don't have a clear knowledge about anything, and you act like you know everything.
Okay, please.
Okay. So it is that nature of people which uses the religious identities and everything to separate from everything. Actually, it's actually all interconnected, and religion is a very personal aspect of anybody. Spirituality is really a very higher level of thing. So in my very personal opinion, it is the art form you learn, or it is through the art form you pursue, you can attain a higher level of spiritual well-being. So we should focus on that actually.
Okay, so let's come back to marketing Carnatic music.
Okay.
So, do you see? This is a thought that we had inside ARTCHEMY when we have been discussing about different Indian classical art forms, limitations, and how we can support performing art forms of Indian origin. So, do you think that because a person listens to pop songs 10 times to different mediums, they are more obliged or attracted to pop songs compared to Carnatic music? My direct question is, do you think that marketing Carnatic music is very limited, which is one of the reason why it does not reach the larger audience?
Um, but I think the marketing is going on in a good way these days.
Okay.
But the thing is that uh, everybody can't understand Carnatic music, but people can enjoy. But in order to understand Carnatic music, you should have a certain level of knowledge in that. But there is no knowledge needed to enjoy the music. So the what people think on a larger scale is like, when you hear the Carnatic music, oh, there are so many swaras and so many things inside that. I don't know anything, so I can't enjoy like that. So that is it is that initial, it is a very basic thought which is limiting the like what I feel. It's my very personal opinion.
Very well understood.
Yeah. So it's what I feel like the people are not accepting that much.
It is because they don't understand, or they consider it as a very complex.
They are not trying to understand.
They are not trying to
Exactly.
understand. What can we do to make people
As I
understand?
told earlier, the very basic step towards art form, it's not like music or dance. The way you are introduced to the art is very important. So it should start from schools actually.
Okay, so you are a teacher by yourself. You have started learning Carnatic music from the age of 3. So you have been through the journey, or educational journey of Carnatic music. If you propose a plan to the school, what would you ask them to do, or how would you give them a plan to start executing, presenting not only Carnatic music, any Indian classical art forms?
First of all, in every schools, you should make children accessible to some art forms. That is very important. At the age of 3 or 4, you can identify the skills of children actually. You should employ more artists, and you should employ more teachers who can help them to develop their skills, who can help them develop their interest, who can those teachers can help them to be a better citizen actually. Because as I told you, through learning an art form you are learning a culture. So I feel like the teaching an art form should be made more more people friendly. It's not like strictly making them sing sa, or strictly making them sing pa. As I told earlier, you should make children, you should give them freedom to explore what is going on around them, and you should connect it with what you are trying to teach them. So that is a best possible way of communicating your art form to children, or making them develop their interest in their art form. So in my very personal opinion, the very first training that should go is for teachers actually. How to teach a children, means how to teach the children, or how to develop the interest. it is a research area that the teachers should be trained in that area, and such teachers should be appointed in each and every schools, and so that they can identify like in which area the children are skilled or interested. You have seen a large number of people who have been engineers and doctors and even chartered accountants or they
Lawyers.
yeah exactly,
To-
and they are pursuing their art form for living.
that itself is an art.
Exactly.
Yes. Very interesting. So, Bhagyalakshmi, what do you think? Where are we taking Carnatic music to what is the future going to be? We see artificial intelligence coming in.
Exactly.
You yourself very much inclined to using technology for your art form. How do you think we are going to change or reform Carnatic music in the coming days?
Technologically speaking, actually I am not that technologically what you say educated in this field, but I am really very interested to know about the artificial intelligence what you say options of teaching and also learning in Carnatic music.
Okay.
Children nowadays, you can, if you give the mobile phone to a 1-year-old children, he or she itself takes the YouTube and watch their own videos. So children are very advanced. So in these days you can see a large number of cover songs or a large number of videos, song videos in Carnatic music, where people take the traditional kritis and they try to communicate it emotionally to the people. That itself is a
How
very
can you define that? Present it emotionally to the people. How does it make a difference?
okay, like if I am telling you like this is a I have an Apple phone.
Okay.
There is an Apple phone. There is an Apple phone. Instead of that, if I show like this is an Apple phone. You can clearly understand.
Yes.
You are getting a visual image, right?
Yes.
That's what people are doing nowadays. They are trying to take the essence of that composition and they are trying to depict it visually so that people understand more. Okay, what is inside the kriti?
Okay.
This itself is a very what you say I was like astonished to see some videos in YouTube where youngsters are taking many effort to dive deep into the compositions, and because every composition is a treasure, every creation is a treasure actually in any art form.
Okay.
So the effort you take to understand that composition and the effort to take to learn about the composition and to bring out the pulp of the composition is really we have to appreciate it a lot. This is happening a lot in Carnatic music now in form of videos and in form of interactions, and even youngsters are taking so many effort to connect with the senior musicians and to what you say extract how they learned, how they practiced, and what would be the best for the future generations. They try to extract everything and they deliver it to the like musicians like us in a very beautiful way. So the future of Carnatic music, what I feel, will be really a far what you say a far better or a far beautiful thing
Then what
than
we
now.
have to,
Yeah, exactly.
to reach where you are today in terms of Carnatic music is not easy. You must have gone through quite a lot of hardships, and your journey must have been very tough in terms of performance, practice. Can you talk more about how you have traveled from your childhood till today?
Sure, that's a very interesting question and what I wish to talk a lot actually.
Okay.
So the very basic thing is consistent practice and also the consistency in your thought, like whatever happens you will continue this, because the one of the main it's not like hardships, one of the main challenges that I had to face was a small amount of competition in this field. Like there are many aspiring musicians who wish to come to the front line and who wish to express their talent. So and you are also one among them.
Okay.
And like everybody, you will also think like, I should perform in this, I should perform here, I should perform here, like that. So the very basic thing you should have is a vision, actually. So I always had a vision from my childhood, like I should become a musician or I will become a musician. It was like I already imagined like I'm a musician, and I talked to a lot of artists like that. I still remember when I was 12-13 years old, my father was one of the executive member of Sangeeta Sabha in Guruvayoor.
Okay.
And I got a lot of opportunities to interact with great musicians, to listen to their experiences, and whenever I hear the hardships that they had overcome, I feel like, okay, uh, I'm not like, luckily I'm not experiencing all those hardships, but still I have some amount of hardships, like the level of acceptance. I should perform more and more for the people to accept. For in order to perform more, you should practice more. So whenever you practice more, you will become tired. You may have a certain amount of vocal voice disturbances inside you. You regularly you should consult doctors. You should get medical attention. Above all, you should have a stable mind. You should have a peaceful mind. For that, you should have a healthy body. So whenever you practice for long hours, you will become tired, and all the climate changes which will make you more sensitive to infections. That was a major part of the hardships that I faced, because I started traveling at a very young age for programs. At my when I was 18 years old, I started traveling for all my programs. So what I faced was the long travels, long journeys, and the consistent effort to make yourself active in the field is really a very the thing that you enjoy the most. And also sometimes you may feel like you are losing your energy. So what I do is like, I will take a very short break from everything, and I talk to my teachers, and I talk to all the artists around me, and I will make myself engaged in hearing music, and I will make myself engaged in learning music. And in order to prepare for a program, or in order to be an artist, you have to, according to my opinion, you have to suffer, or you have to face some challenges in your life. I am telling like, you have to face some challenges, because you can beautifully turn those challenges into opportunities. That
Okay.
is an artist, actually. One of the challenges I faced, it was like the change of my voice at
Okay.
a particular age. It was very tough for me to adapt to a new voice. Everybody will go through
Like
this.
as you shift from adolescence.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Everybody will go through this. But as a singer, and voice is the only instrument you are using, and it is your treasure. It is your asset. When my voice was shifting from a particular range to what I speak now, it was
What do you mean by range?
okay, range means I can talk like this. I can talk like this. I can talk like this.
Okay.
I can talk like this.
Okay.
So, which is pleasant for you,
Mm-hmm.
and which is comfortable for me, that is my range.
Okay.
Okay.
Understood.
Okay. So it was a quite tough period for me.
Okay.
I went through some vocal infections, some tonsillitis issues. Everything came together. So I had to take medications. It is at that time I clearly understood from my doctor how your vocal cord works, how it functions, which is the best way to make it safe. Like, if you are feeling tired, you should not do anything. Like if you are strained, give some time to your vocal cords. Always drink water and make it comfortable. It's like you are carrying a child inside you.
Hydrating it is very
Exactly,
important.
very,
Okay.
very, very important.
Okay.
It's like you should pamper your vocal cords every day. You should talk to it, and you should make it very friendly.
Okay.
Exactly. So that's what all my doctor advised me.
Okay.
Whenever you need rest, you just take some 10 to 15 minutes rest. Talk to yourself and be prepared. And always send your gratitude to your vocal cords for working for you, because we don't know what is going on inside our body.
Very nice.
It is
Yeah,
a
that's
very
true.
just a fraction of second is enough for collapsing and all, for
That's true.
breaking your
Yes.
wings. So you should be very careful physically and mentally. So that was the understanding about this itself was a major challenge for me, because had so many post-COVID complications, and it was the it was in the COVID time, as even as a performing artist, I came to understand about it in a larger aspect, and I also teach my children also.
Okay.
If you are going to be like if you are going to be a musician, or if you are going to be like an instrumentalist or anything, you should take care of your hands. Or if you are going to be a vocalist, you should take care of your vocal health. And of course mental health is very, very important.
It is very important.
Very important.
Same
So,
as with the emotional health also.
exactly, very important. So you should make your mind, body and voice always healthy and happy, in order to like prepare for a larger audience. You should start from now itself. So now if I have a dream of singing for ARR in front of lakhs and thousands of people, so I am preparing it for now itself, because I should not be I should not become nervous. And so what I have to do is I should visualize that there are lakhs and lakhs of people inside me, and whenever I practice, I sing for them. I
Okay.
enjoy myself. So if you have the power to overcome the challenges, and if you have the power to clearly understand the challenges and break them, then that won't be repeated. Once you have overcome with a pattern of breaking the challenges is very important. I don't want to do this, and I will do and overcome this is really two different situations.
Yes.
So the thought of knowing the second situation and applying it will be really difficult than the first, but when you are in the track, it's quite easy to overcome the challenges that you face. And if somebody didn't give you any opportunity also, it will be okay for you, because you are very sure that something very amazing is waiting in the next moment. And even that is my experience also.
Okay.
So basically the very basic challenges you face is the physical and mental challenges that you go through, rather than all the outside challenges. So if you are able to overcome this, then, and I also insist like the training should be given in that area also. Children should be aware of their body. They should know what is happening inside their body. Then only you will be you can foresee something. Okay, I think there will be migraine hit today evening, okay, so I will remain like this. You should be able to foresee what is going to happen. Then things will be easier. That skill is developing that skill is really required in this time.
Great. Bhagyalakshmi, it has been a very interesting session with you. I enjoyed it a lot.
Thank you,
But
Saif.
there is
Same here.
but there is something missing. We could not hear you sing in different aspects of Carnatic singing.
Sure.
If you could please, for our audience.
Sure. I'm so happy that I got an opportunity to talk for ARTCHEMY, and to discuss my point of views. And also I'm very happy to tell something about the way I was initiated to Carnatic music, and also my message to the younger musicians too. So now I will sing a small part of a song, Kandanal Mudalai, which is a very romantic song in Carnatic music.
Okay.
கண்ட நாள் முதலாய் காதல் பெருகுதடி கண்ட நாள் முதலாய் காதல் பெருகுதடி கையினில் வேல் பிடித்த கையினில் வேல் பிடித்த கருணை சிவபாலனை கண்ட நாள் முதலாய் காதல் பெருகுதடி கையினில் வேல் பிடித்த கருணை சிவபாலனை கண்ட நாள் முதலாய் காதல் பெருகுதடி.
Bhagyalakshmi, it was beautiful to hear your voice, and thank you very much for giving us this opportunity. We would definitely meet with you again. We will have more conversations and interesting discussions about the art form and how we all can work together to bring betterment for Indian performing art forms. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you.